Welcome to Tosca, an insider's guide. We'll learn the following about Tosca. What is an opera? How was this opera's story chosen? How were the lyrics written? What is the story about? How was it composed? Who are the characters? What are the production considerations? What is an opera? A play or a story set to music. Tosca is an Italian opera in 3 acts composed by Giacomo Puccini. Its libretto, the script, is by Giuseppe Giacosa and Luigi Illica. How was this opera's story chosen? Tosca was derived from a French dramatic play by Sardou, La Tosca. It is a melodramatic piece set in Rome, Italy, on June 14, 1800, with the Kingdom of Naples' control of Rome threatened by Napoleon's invasion of Italy in a battle called the Battle of Marengo. Tosca is a battle of wits and wills, of passion and pain. The young opera diva Floria Tosca becomes trapped between her allegiance to her rebel lover and the scheming of a vicious police chief who will stop at nothing in his lust for her. How was this opera written? Puccini, Tosca's composer, saw Sardou's play La Tosca when it was touring in Italy in 1889 and obtained the rights to turn the work into an opera in 1895. It was changed extensively while being condensed down into an Italian operatic libretto, the script for the opera. But still, there is a general conformity with the play. It took 4 years to produce the opera, during which time the composer Puccini repeatedly argued with his librettists and the publisher Tito Ricordi. During Tosca's composition, to make it authentic, Puccini studied the sounds of Roman bells. Puccini also studied the music of the Te Deum, a hymn sung at matins or on special occasions in use in the capital, Rome. About the librettists, the script writers. Giuseppe Giacosa was born in 1847 in Colleretto, Parella, Italy. Though he gained a degree in law, he did not pursue a legal career. He gained fame as a playwright and wrote opera libretti in collaboration with Luigi Illica for Puccini's 3 operas, Tosca, La Bohème, and Madama Butterfly. Luigi Illica was born in 1857 in Castel Arguato, Italy, and became a playwright of considerable quality. He wrote opera libretti for many well-known composers, including Puccini, in which he collaborated for Manon Lescaut, Tosca, La Bohème, and Madama Butterfly. His personal life sometimes imitated his libretti. The reason he was always photographed with his head slightly turned is because he lost his right ear in a duel over a woman. About the composer, Giacomo Puccini was born in 1858 into an Italian musical family that spanned many generations. He learned how to play the organ and piano at a very young age and went on to study composition at the Milan Conservatory. He was known primarily for his operas and regarded as the most successful proponent of Italian opera after Verdi. His early works were in the Romantic style, but later he started composing in the Verismo style, a style distinguished by realistic, sometimes sordid or violent depictions of everyday life. Tosca was arguably Puccini's first foray into Verismo. Puccini's most renowned works are Tosca, La Bohème, Madama Butterfly, and Turandot, all of which are among the most frequently performed and recorded of all operas. How is Tosca musically structured? Tosca is structured as a through-composed work, with arias, recitative, choruses, and other elements musically woven into a seamless whole. Puccini used musical themes to identify characters, objects, and ideas. Here is Scarpia's theme. The dramatic force of Tosca and its characters continues to fascinate both performers and audiences, and the work remains one of the most frequently performed operas. What language is this opera in? Tosca is in Italian. What are some of the well-known lyrics? The most famous lyrics from Tosca are those which she cries out right after she has stabbed the police chief Scarpia in the heart. They are "Questo il bacio di Tosca," which translated means, "This is the kiss of Tosca." Who are the leading characters? Floria Tosca is a role designed for singing actors, which covers a whole gamut of emotions. Tosca is a celebrated opera singer in love with the painter Mario Cavaradossi. She is headstrong yet naive, confident yet unsure. Her jealousy leads to the deaths of all the leading characters in this opera. Mario Cavaradossi is a painter and a Napoleon Republican sympathizer in love with Tosca. It is one of Puccini's most lyrical and popular tenor roles. He is courageous, honest, prudent, and resourceful. Baron Scarpia is a lecherous, scheming, corrupt police chief in Rome. His ruthlessness lies beneath his seemingly courteous exterior. He continually seeks more power and has aligned himself with the ruling Kingdom of Naples, supported by the Austrian Empire. What are some of the famous numbers in this opera? There are many famous arias, solos in operas, in Tosca. Tre sbirri, translated as Three Agents, is a blasphemous aria sung by Scarpia. Scarpia orders Spoletta and his agents to follow Tosca, assuming she will lead them to Cavaradossi and Angelotti. He privately gloats as he reveals his intentions to possess Tosca and execute Cavaradossi. A procession enters the church singing the Te Deum. Scarpia explains, "Tosca, you make me forget even God," then joins the chorus in the prayer. Vici d'arte, translated as I lived for art, is sung by Tosca. Holding Tosca's lover, Cavaradossi, as a pawn, the corrupt police chief, Scarpia, pressures Tosca to satisfy his carnal desires. She prays, asking why God has abandoned her in her hour of need. E lucevan le stelle, translated as "The stars were shining," is sung by Mario Cavaradossi, a political prisoner about to be shot. He begins to write a final letter to his lover Tosca and becomes overwhelmed with memories of her, exclaiming, "Here I die desperately, yet have never loved life so much." How was the scenery chosen? There are setting descriptions in the Tosca opera score, places in Rome that still exist today. Lyrical opera theater produces scenery that is as close as possible to actual places and locations where operas take place. This production of Tosca has two legs. The interior leg picture used in this production is from looking through a doorway of a small chapel to the golden, ornately decorated interior apse of the Basilica Sant'Andrea della Valle. This picture was transformed from this to this leg. The second leg was designed using the famous Arch of Constantine, located by the Rome Colosseum. This picture was transformed to this leg. Act 1's description states, "The Church of Sant'Andrea della Valle. To the right, the Cappella Attavanti. To the left, some scaffolding. Upon it, a large painting covered with a cloth, a painter's implements, a basket." The Sant'Andrea della Valle is a minor basilica in the city of Rome, Italy. It was completed in 1650. The fresco decorations of Sant'Andrea's dome was one of the largest commissions of its day. Act 2's description states, "Palazzo Farnese, Scarpia's apartment on the upper floor. The table is set. A large window overlooks the courtyard of the palace. It is night." The Palazzo Farnese is one of the most important high Renaissance palaces in Rome. Owned by the Italian Republic, it was given to the French government in 1936 for a period of 99 years and currently serves as the French embassy in Italy. Act 3's description states, "The platform of the Castel Sant'Angelo. To the left, a casement, a table with a lamp, writing materials, and a large register, a bench, a chair. On one wall of the casement hangs a crucifix with a lamp suspended before it. To the right, the opening of a little staircase that leads up to the platform. The Vatican and St. Peter's are visible in the background." The Castel Sant'Angelo is known in English as the Castle of the Holy Angel, built in 139 AD. It is a towering, cylindrical building in Rome, Italy, not far from the Vatican, used by the popes as a fortress, a castle, and a prison. The popes connected it to St. Peter's Basilica by a covered, fortified corridor called the Passetto di Borgo. Prisoners were held in its dungeons, and executions were performed in the small inner courtyard. How was the cast chosen? They were chosen by their skill and their voice types. Characters' voices must be appropriate for the demands of the music. Voice classifications take into consideration such factors as range and timbre. Tosca is a full lyric or spinto soprano. This voice type is required to support soaring lines while maintaining the beauty of her lyrical tone. Her instrument is voluminous, rich, and lower than typical high sopranos. Cavaradossi is a full lyric or spinto tenor, a high male voice with a dramatic, voluminous sound and a naturally dark, rich timbre. It is a free-flowing, lyrical voice type that lies a little lower than high tenors. Scarpia is a full lyric or spinto baritone, a lower male voice that is voluminous, powerful, has a rich dark timbre, and has a bite. What are some of the acting challenges of Tosca? Tosca is very difficult musically, with tricky rhythms, time signature changes, tempo changes, and lots of Italian words sung rapidly. These musical difficulties often represent changes in mood. Yet a singer can be so focused on getting the music right that their acting becomes mechanical, sounding like someone counting rather than conveying the underlying emotions of the music. The music must be so well learned that singers can focus on the acting. Discussion topics. What choices might the characters have made differently if they were alive today? Is the plot relevant to issues of our present time? If you were composing this opera in 1899, as Puccini was, how might your perceptions of it be affected by your view as an Italian? Do the cultural references feel outdated? How have the dynamics between men and women changed since then? How are political and social climates different or the same today? If you were going to produce this opera today with a contemporary 21st century perspective, what changes would you make and why? Conclusion. Tosca premiered in 1900 and was an immediate success with the public. It did not at first seem the kind of drama that suited Puccini's talent, which up to now had been at its best in tender and sentimental plays. Tosca was lurid, filled with horror, sadism, murder, and suicide. However, with a true dramatist's instinct, Puccini changed his style to meet the demands of the play. The overall effect of Tosca is one of compelling drama, and several of its arias are among the most memorable that Puccini ever wrote. Thank you for watching Tosca, an Insider's Guide.